sipping, I'm 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 sipping. Sipping, I'm 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 sipping.
You're live.
Sipping, I'm 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 sipping.
This is Sippin' with Sammy. I am Mr. Fly Shit Only, the one and only Sippin' with Sammy. Sam Malone, Barstool Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammy, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together.
It's all the way live. It's all the way live.
Damn, Sammy, you done. Damn, Sammy, you. Damn, Sammy, you. Damn, Sammy. Damn, Sammy, you done fuck.
What's up with y'all, man? Happy Monday, happy hour, all that flyness. Hope y'all poured up, twisted up, and all of that. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let somebody know we are on the air right now and they should be here. Got some good topics tonight, good conversation. Hopefully a few jokes as usual. But before all of that, I gotta tap in with my sponsor real quick, man. So in a couple seconds, we're gonna shoot to paying these bills and we be right back to ya. This is Sippin' with Sammy, Sam Malone, Barstool Rug here with Rich Jewels, the official sponsor of the Sippin' with Sammy podcast. Tap in with Rich Jewels, male or female jewelry, black owned, small business. Tap in with Rich Jewels, Sippin' with Sammy approves. Word. Shout out to Rich Jewels. Salute Rich Jewels. Tap in with Rich Jewels. Male or female jewelry needs will be met. She can figure something out for you. I guess we got to start as usual with the weekend recap. First of all, Kay in the building. Kay, what up? You all right?
You know, I'm good. Chilling.
My bad. That was rude of me. I didn't introduce Kay.
It's
Kay
all
of
right.
Fine Productions is in here with me.
I was doing the sound check at the same time, so I did step away for a second.
Yeah, you definitely did that. I actually forgot that quick. That's why I didn't know it. See, now I'm on point.
Yeah.
You want to recap your weekend?
Sure. I can start. I think you made me go first because I don't think I did anything. That was sneaky. I see what you did there.
That's what happened?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, I don't think I left the house. Oh, so I did have an event on Sunday.
That's what I thought.
I had an event on Sunday. It was the spring sidewalk sale in Fishtown. A bunch of our retailers, over 20, ended up setting up out on the sidewalk to welcome spring, and it was a great day. I haven't gotten all of the feedback yet. I did send out a form to my folks, but from what I'm hearing, the foot traffic was great, and there was a lot of people out on Frankfurt Avenue. A lot of folks really enjoyed being able to walk up to the store and not even have to go inside to start to peruse and see different types of things that they have. And a lot of our stores had different inventory than what they normally carry. So they either partnered with a local artist to vend outside or had some additional inventory. Like one jewelry store ended up bringing out some vinyl records and did really well selling those. So that was cool to see too.
I bet that's interesting as hell that they went vinyl, but tis vinyl time again. Like, that's the thing again.
Well, you know, vinyl always does really well in Fishtown.
See, I didn't know that, but that makes sense. That makes sense.
That's one of the things that even at my events, when people sell vinyl or vintage rock T-shirts or things like that, they always tend to do really well.
I know what to add to my table.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm saying. My weekend, I believe, was pretty light. Saturday, stayed in all day because it was pouring down, raining, and watched battle rap, but we're going to get to that in a minute. Mm-hmm. And yesterday, I had my man Benji slid through from Rock the Mic podcast, Benji Jones. Had a good conversation with him, but right before we got to talking to him, Married to the Bars, the couple that are battle rap journalists, commentators, media. Mm-hmm. I had been on their platform before. They was in Philly for the battle that was on Saturday. So they said, hey, you told me to hit you up. So they slid through after we got done talking to Benji Jones, and I was able to, we were able to facilitate a breaking down of the bars with HMO Prezi and Married to the Bars and C Cash. So that was fun and interesting. Oh yeah, and Bill Collector hopped on there and Unc was on there too. So like that was fun. That was cool. StreamYard shit. I don't usually do StreamYard, but shout out to them because they was able to accomplish their objective, and I got to kick it with them for a little bit and show them some hospitality after they welcomed me on their platform, a few months back. So I think that was dope. That was dope. So let me get them.
Super big hand.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now, I did mention I watched battle rap all day Saturday.
Yes.
So let's get to standing on the business.
Let's talk about it.
Kay saw the battles also. She was tapped in.
I think I might have fallen asleep at one point.
Okay. All right. No surprise there.
I think it was when Chess was choking.
So, to start,
Because I don't remember. No, I did watch the Tay Rock versus Brett battle.
okay.
Was that before or after Chess choked?
It was after Chess. No, yeah, was it? Damn, I can't remember the order. I think it was after. I pretty much feel like they was going in order, but they might not have went in order the whole time. They might have started off in order and changed it. Hold on, let me see. Tay Rock Prep went before Chess and Bill Collector. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in order.
Okay, so then I did fall asleep during the Chess chokes.
That's crazy. But to start, it was quite a few battle events over the weekend, and most of my interest was in this one because it is Battle Academy. Prezi is somebody that is part of Gas Gang. I support Cash and Gas Gang, so I've been on the road with Prezi before. I believe in him, and he had a good look coming against Miss Hustle. So I'm like, that's heavy for him. And I actually had him winning because of her comments she was making leading up to the battle.
Mm-hmm.
But C Cash calls me around noon. Yo, bro, what's up? You going out to the battle? I'm like, damn, it's pouring down, raining. Let me see how I feel in a minute. Get myself together and all that shit. He like, we got to show up for Prezi. I'm like, no fucking doubt. But decided instead to go with the pay-per-view. Got the pay-per-view working. Push and play. And that shit won't even, like, the next screen that come up is just flashing at you. They won't even they don't even have a loading screen going on. So it's like, damn, did I really pay for it? So then you gotta read the comments on the side. You know anything about battle rap, you gotta read the comments. And the comments actually said, the event will start at 4:30. Somebody had said it on Twitter. So now this is 2.5 hours of killing time before the battle. But that's normal for battle rap if you know battle rap. But, okay.
Yes.
Once the battles began, they actually began abruptly. Like, soon as the stream started, niggas was rapping.
Yes.
The first battle was, I can't see, is that the whole card? That's the bottom of it?
Yeah, that's the bottom of the image. It didn't have who Mars was against on the image.
He went against
What's his name?
Chunk.
Yeah.
Top Floor Mars battled Chunk.
So I think Crush versus
EDK Piffy is the one that happened in the rain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then there is a battle that's not on here because somebody else went first.
Somebody went first and I don't see it.
Yeah.
Wasn't important though, for real.
No.
Mars versus Chunk. What did you think?
I thought Mars won. I called it 2-1, Mars. I thought, what's his name? Chunk? Chunk?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought Chunk was an aggressive white boy battle rapper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm just saying that was the stereotype that he kind of fit into, for me at least. And I wasn't unimpressed. Like, I thought he held his own. I just I thought that Mars took it. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about that battle.
I think that I do think that Mars won. I think that Chunk And I don't know how long he's been battling. The only other battle I know of is the 2-on-2 he was supposed to have against Prep, and somebody in Prep battled them by himself. But they said he was good in that too. But I don't think he's been battling in front of crowds long. So I think like he lost momentum, like he lost the wind in his sails at somewhere during the second round, like probably the beginning of the second round.
I could tell he wasn't used to Philly either.
Yeah, but he had reacted one. You know how motherfuckers be like, "Yo, that was fire."
Yeah.
It was a time he did one of those type of things. I forget how he said it.
Like he basically accused the crowd of being asleep.
Yeah, but his shoulders went down. It wasn't like bossed up. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, y'all. You know what I mean? I'm like, And I feel like it went like that for him after that. Now, Mars' third round was a little disappointing.
You just talked about easy the whole time.
Because it was a whole easy round, which, shit, a lot of staying on business was easy night, if you want to be real. But that's always a turn off for me. I don't mind. I like random, because this is the thing that's been going on in battle rap forever. You say random or something, and then you just call out somebody, give them a little 4 to 8 bars, and get back to your opponent.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool, because that used to be the way to set up your next battle. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't so much on battle rap media, and motherfuckers didn't have spaces and all of that to start arguments. So you would just be in your battle and be like, random, you said such and such, such and such, such and such. Well, come out, you know what I mean? And that would be cool. But to do 40 bars, and I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but it was a long stint about Easy and Easy One in the building. I thought that was a little cringe, but I did give Mars the battle, so.
Well, and not only is Easy not in the building, if Easy was to challenge somebody from Battle Academy to put this drama to rest, which I'm not saying is going to happen, but if it were to happen, it wouldn't be Mars.
Good point.
So for him to have that many easy bars was
The
just
most
kind
of
of
the
like,
night.
why? Like, what do you... I don't know.
Can I give my opinion on that?
Please.
On the why of that?
Yeah.
I feel like there's not a lot of material to use against Chunk yet because people don't really know him like that. He don't have a lot of stuff on camera. We don't know much about his personality outside of battle rap. So I feel like space filler. Ran out of shit to say about White Bull. Said, well, let me go off since this is current event and we in the middle of it. I can add it and it's not going to look so crazy because I am involved. It's not like I'm dicking it. You know what I mean? But I think he just didn't have enough for the White Boy to get a complete third round out of it.
Yeah.
And he caught a pocket for Easy and had some things to say. And, like, sometimes, like, the way Philly niggas go at you, niggas will really pick apart your style and your personality and how you carry yourself in such a way that, like, you could write quite a bit about that. When it's somebody that you got some background on, some tape on and shit like that. Where you could Urkel a motherfucker to death. But yeah, I gave that to Mars. Mars took that.
All right, so then Shotgun Shug, Top Floor, Loot was next, right?
Okay.
I believe so. And this was the battle for the belt.
Yeah. Yeah, last minute, I think the week before the battle, they had the face off and Luke decided that he was going to put the belt up. And I thought that was fly. You know, it was a great gesture.
Yeah.
Put something on the line. Something on the floor, like something tangible to be like, no, nigga, I won. I took home your money or your belt or your shirt, whatever. You know what I mean? Similar to like on Biker Boys when they was racing for helmets. Like, that's your custom-made helmet. I'm taking that home with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's always makes anything competitive doper. So the belt was a cool add-on last minute. I thought that was fly.
And what did you think of the battle?
I think Suge has been in rare form for the last 2 years, yo. And, like, really rapping his ass off. But I think he fell victim to the whole, y'all ain't really paying me my number, so I'm only rapping for the amount of time required to get paid.
Right.
And we've seen this over and over and over again with veteran or main stage big name battle rappers. When they battle the up and coming guy, even if it's a one rounder, the up and coming guy has 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, shit like that. And they come through with 2 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And if the up and coming guy is nice, that could be a long round for them. If the up and coming guy is decent, then he might have wrote too much. You know what I mean? Like it could go either way. Like he could fuck that up because you could lose momentum. But I think he really just made the mistake of, and he fucks with Luke. Like they are friends, according to them both. But like he made the mistake of coming with not enough ammo to a gunfight.
Yeah.
He had handguns and Luke was running through there with choppers. And Luke was cooking. I think Luke, and you can tell he's still learning and growing with battle rap. I think he has a lot of upside to him because he's funny and he's fairly intelligent from what he's been showing. And you can kind of get that from him. And it's the stature and the aggressive bully persona to go with it. It's like that's a lot of shit that works out there's a lot of intangibles that work in battle rap.
Yeah. No, I agree. I thought Lute's rounds were good. I thought he had a little bit of filler bars in there, which kind of contributed to the time differential, but it was so different in terms of like how many punches or how many different aspects there were to each round that Lute put out in comparison to Suge, that by the end of Lute's rounds you forgot Suge's.
And I ain't gonna lie, News damn near dunked on Suge. So like if it was close, that's the tiebreaker for me. I just saw News fly through the fucking air at a 6'5" giant. And if what's the name ain't sidestep him, if Suge ain't sidestep him, it would have been ugly. But even with the sidestep, like the attempt was so funny and entertaining. It was fly. I liked it. But yeah, so I get at the Luke. I mean, he had the belt, so it ain't really for us to decide. It's been decided. But in my personal preference, I'm good with that one.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes K Walker.
This was my battle of the night.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. This was probably the best K Walker I've seen. At least in the last 2 years.
I give him the second Trenches event. Was that the first or the second? I think it was the second Trenches event. He went nuts. I forget who he battled. That was my favorite K Walker. But go ahead.
Okay, maybe you're right. But yeah, no, I definitely I thought this was a great battle. I gave this battle the night. I gave K Walker the battle overall. And in my mind it was clear. Not that Snake Eyes was bad, because I've seen Snake Eyes and did not like Snake Eyes before, and this was not that case. I thought that Snake Eyes had his material, he had his delivery on point. K Walker just was better, in my opinion. What do you think?
I think people still try to put a box on K Walker's style, and it winds up making them underestimate K.
Mm-hmm.
K is a rapper. K knows how to make great records. K really sharpens his steel around some of the illest MCs in the city that when it comes to battle rap, like he's pretty versatile. He got some shit with him. Like even in the first round, he started going in the pockets and shit. I was like, well, he's swagging on him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But and I think K consistently round after round after round showed levels that night. You know what I mean? What I do respect is Snake Eyes is like, you can't rattle that motherfucker, yo. Like, you couldn't tell Snake that he wasn't winning. When he was saying 2-0 and all, he believed that shit.
Oh, yeah, he definitely did.
He believed it. Like, it wasn't like, yo, I'm going to say this so that the cameras eject my narrative. Like, that wasn't what it was.
Yeah, I don't know what room he was in. But from the couch, that wasn't the case.
No, not at all. But shout out to K Walker. Shout out to Snake. One thing that I noticed in the build-up was Snake did a lot of antagonizing K, and K South Philly boy, so he'll flip the switch real quick to like, what you want to do, box? Like, what is we doing? Like, and every time it went aggressive, Snake is like, yo, I'm trying to rap. I fuck with you. I'm not trying to come to Philly for all of that. Like, And I respect it because it takes a lot to humble yourself that whole fucking time. Even though he was being an aggressor and an agitator, it's like he always kept in perspective that like I know where I'm going. And I think when you come here, you got to be careful about that kind of shit because the room that you think is not really reacting as much as they should could get way colder than that. When you hear it get crazy.
Yeah,
It get crazy. So salute to Snake Eyes for putting on a good performance, man.
definitely.
And I think that's the nicest thing I ever said about him. Miss Hustle and Shank Prezi.
Yeah. Shank Prezi did great.
Shout out Prezi, man.
And I mean, hearing the bar breakdown, he had a lot of shit in there.
Married to the Bars, Bar Breakdown, Shank Prezi, SippinWitSammie, C Cash, Bill Collector. Go check out
Yes.
on their page. Please.
Definitely. But he had a great round. He had a lot of stuff in there. He had a lot to say about Miss Hustle, and I think he put it together well. I think that he hit on a lot of notes in new and improved ways, because you know everybody talks about her body, but he went a little beyond that, and you know made it funny.
The fact that you hesitated to laugh at that is crazy.
But yeah, so I thought he did well, and then you know Miss Hustle stunk it.
The lead up to this battle was interesting for me because every time they mentioned this battle, she would say something like, I got this guy called Shank Prezi or something. Shank Prezi or something. Like, she would say shit like that, like she ain't know who he was. So I'm like, you're not doing no homework on him, and you probably underestimating him.
Yeah.
Anyway, then when she called in, or they had her on the phone at Champion, and she kept going on about, if you got more than 4 minutes, I'm walking out. I'm not rapping. If you got this, that, and the third. And I'm like, you just had a battle a week ago. This is another battle against somebody that maybe, I mean, it's plenty of clips and video of Prezi online battling. So it's not the same really, but it's similar to like, you know, I guess you don't have much to go off of, but I felt like she was feeling the pressure. And I feel like we saw it in the battle. I feel like Prezi, and he said that he went first because she said she don't care how long he rap if he go first, right?
Yep.
So he said he took the pressure off of her by going first. He did his thing, and then she choked. And super choked, like Jersey, like no more to say. But I'm not gonna act like she wasn't cooking. She was cooking. She was sounding like Miss Hustle. Then she hit a wall. But Prezi is Mr. Consistent.
And that wall was like less than 12 bars in.
And Prezi was very strategic and smart, like you said, during the bar breakdown. I interrupted him early because he pointed out what I knew, which was a lot of dudes have problems battling girls, like no matter how nice they are, because approach is everything.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a little girl, you don't want to be barking on her. If it's, you know, it's different, like, perspectives of how to attack it without it looking crazy or cringy. But when he opened with the, after you said what you said about Lady Luck, Mom, he made her an equal. He took the gloves off. It's like, no, why you gotta be nice to this bitch? You know what I mean? Because that shit she did was savage, and she's not apologizing for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that to put that early in his round was brilliant. And then, like he said, he wanted to make every nigga that wanted to hit her look at her like a man and feel guilty about wanting to fuck her. And he did a good job of that. So I think, like, for a one-rounder, he 30'd her. I'm just sad about it because for the magnitude of her name, which, you know, major reason why the battle was exciting in the first place for him is because a lot of people would get to see it.
Right.
And he was going to be competitive and probably win anyway, in my opinion. But now I just hope people go watch him cook, knowing that she pulled a jersey. I still want them to go watch that. This nigga was masterful with that shit, and it was going crazy in there. Shout out to Cash and them. Y'all jumped up and down on a couple extra bars, but for the most part, y'all was on point. Wasn't too much gas from the gas game. Tay Rock versus Prep. I like to start this off by saying Prep. That fucking jacket is horrible.
You flushed the jacket.
Jacket is horrible. Did you buy an Eagles jacket and get somebody to stitch a sentence in a patch under the Eagles logo, bro? Wow. Look at you go. That's crazy, yo. That shit look horrible. I think it was a real jacket and you made it look fake.
Yo.
Like, I don't know how niggas do that. Like, respect the jacket if you like you watered it down. You made it look like your little cousin project for business class. Like, that's crazy.
Oh man.
That's crazy. Was it an S with a star on the sleeve or something? Was it a champion on the sleeve? Cause I hope you cut that shit off after you did the extra shit on the back. Cause that's not decent. They ain't sign up for that. They should sue you. That was a bad look, man. Easy Jones be sketchy too, but that was crazy. Anyway, back to the battle.
Yes, back to the battle.
Go ahead, Kay. Let's start with Prep starting the battle off by making everybody applaud for Tay Rock and calling him a superhero and all of that shit.
Yeah, that was weird.
How did you feel when he did that? Did that strike you as a bad move, or did you say, "Oh, that was cool, that was nice of him"?
No, that was just weird. It was
So you was indifferent. You was
just
just like, "This is strange."
that was my reaction. This is very strange. Why is he doing that?
I felt like he set the first nail in the coffin.
You think so?
I mean, energy, perception, body language, all of that is a thing, and I'm pretty sure he was nervous or anxious about going up against Rock.
Okay.
So that's one of those deflection things he did. You see what I'm saying? To put himself in a certain light, because he was just saying he want Tay Rock that almost fight. He want to almost fight Tay Rock. He want to go all the way there, and then you open with that.
See, that made me think that he was like really trying hard to get the underdog vote. Like, if this is even close to a tie, you got to give it to me because
And that's possible too.
I'm the underdog.
But none of this is positive for him.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
either way, it just sound crazy. Like, Prep, stop, yo. And we know that, you know, he never knows which person he wants to be every day. So, like, I just don't know what he thought he was accomplishing with that.
He was trying
Especially
as hard
when-
as his jacket.
Wow.
My bad.
But I think that, like, if somehow it tied into your bars, like, you gave him all of that, and then you started off like kind of like on some ministry shit, like, oh, today we all gather here for Tay Rock, you know what I'm saying? And then find a way to bring him up and throw him down, how battle rappers do. I think that'd have been fly after that, but that shit had nothing to do with what you was about to do after it. So
That's why it felt foreign to me. Like it was out of nowhere and did not connect.
Can we talk about how Tay Rock don't take no battles off, yo?
No, Tay Rock was flawless again.
How this motherfucker, he's stopping and kissing little sis in the middle of rounds and shit.
Yep,
Not
definitely
missing
did.
a fucking beat. Like, this shit was like, it was a masterclass
Yeah, I
of
honestly
a one rounder.
I forgot all of Prep's bars. That's why I was blanking. Until you said what he begun with, I forgot everything he said.
That's crazy.
Because Tay Rock was just better. He was just better.
Tay Rock went nuts in there. He is who he is, man. And it's crazy because Chess went hard at certain shit and went at certain, you know, was picking at things and went hard at caution. It was like,
You said Chess, you meant Prep.
I mean, Prep, my bad. Went hard at all of that stuff, went hard at caution and all of that. And it's like, Tay Rock got 4 bars in and it was like, mama, there goes that man. That's him. You up there arguing with him, bro.
Yeah.
Different. So shout out to Tay Rock. Shout out to Caution too, always. Chess versus Bill Collector.
Shout out to Bill Collector.
Salute Bill, Billiano. Bill.
What's wrong with your stomach?
First thing he said. What the fuck is wrong with your stomach?
That part of the battle I was definitely awake for.
it ain't get no better from there. Like it got like it went downhill for Chess from there.
Oh
And
yeah.
Bill, uber prepared,
Yep.
super fucking flexible and malleable in his approaches, deliveries. Like he's all over the place.
Yep.
Like you know he came to Rumble.
Hit everything on the rubric.
And the crazy thing is, he said he knew Chess wasn't going to be ready, but he prepared like he was scared for his life. He didn't let up nothing because he knew Chess was going to be light. He went in there to cook.
Right.
And cook he did. And Chess, from the very opening round, he was walking through his bars.
Yeah, like he was literally trying.
He was swimming. You know how you tread water? He was literally doing this while he was trying to get through the shit. Like,
He was looking down. He was trying to remember things as he was saying them. It was bad. It was bad.
and long story short, because this show ain't about battle rap, but we talking about it for now. He choked for 3 rounds in a row.
Yep.
And we didn't even get a joint that was decent enough that it was like he could have just stopped right there.
No.
Somebody I think said might have been the first day was like, yo, he was good if we ain't know he was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the first he had a solid minute and a half. 2 minutes maybe.
All right, maybe that's true. But like
The first he had a solid 2.
it was very, very, very frustrating because, and shout out to Rosenberg because he got to say it first. It very early in the battle became, yo, is he going to choke? When is he going to choke? Is he going to get through this battle? Oh shit, he's not even nauseous.
Nope.
Like you just start picking apart how he's doing what he's doing. You don't even want to hear the bars no more because they're not landing right. He's not delivering them right. You can hear some penmanship in there, but it's like, yo, you are killing me. So now you just start dissecting his downfall. And not even excited about it. It's like you watching a train crash. Like you just like, get off the tracks. And this nigga ain't getting off the tracks. He just standing there like this. Let me see the water. Like, nigga. Yo. I ain't gonna lie. And it's not something I'm proud of. Cause I'm never against no black man getting no money. I was watching this shit like, yo, retire, bro. Retire. Just retire. Yo, this is bad. Retire. I kept thinking that. And I mean, I was in a moment and I was drinking and all of that. So maybe that wasn't the right words. Like, since then, I've heard people say he needs to take a real break and a step back. Leave of absence. But it's like, we've seen it work for some. But he doesn't sound like, based on the last champion interview when he was in there with the gang and all of that, he doesn't sound like he's even to terms with what his problem is. This time it looked like preparation. Was the nausea and the acid reflux looking shit from anxiety, from lack of preparation? Or is that also a real thing that he deals with also? Because when they brought it up on Champion, he said, I don't even want to say that because ain't no doctor never diagnosed me with that. He never said I went to the doctors about that already.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I watch Bros and Froze all the time say, you can't drink orange juice, you can't eat fruit snacks, you can't have this, you can't have that. Rosenberg starves himself before every battle because he has acid reflux. And then you say, I wasn't even drinking liquor. Niggas saying I'm drunk. I was drinking juice. Wow, they just said you can't drink juice if you got acid reflux. That might be a problem. You pull out a Powerade or some shit, or Gatorade while you rapping this time.
Not that that's any better, but
A lot of sodium. It's still a weird place to be.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Very disappointing. Not surprising at all, which is even more disappointing.
Yeah.
Bill Collector being Bill Collector, not surprising at all, but definitely refreshing.
Yeah.
You know, the opposite. The opposite. We like to see Bill be Bill all the time because Bill always come with some shit nobody else in that room was going to say. He does it, and I don't write down bars. I like to appreciate the battle and see how I feel about it. And if I'm even a little bit whatever about it, I'll watch the motherfucker again and again. And that ain't based on classic. That's because, like, you know, sometimes you just hear shit that make you feel good. Make you say, damn, he did that. He did that. Now, while we on battle rap, might as well go to this ARP situation, man.
Let's talk about it.
So we all know that ARP is like the only non-battling Battle League owner that goes on YouTube live streams and talks about the industry all the time, right?
That's a very good point.
And he's very well spoken.
He is.
And he's very responsible with what he speaks on and how he speaks to them. So he's appreciated in that light for, I think, a lot of people. I don't want to say most or anything like that, but I think a lot of people do appreciate his insight because he's not doing it necessarily to be messy, which wouldn't be appreciated from an owner. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Especially with the kind of dollars and the kind of business you got to deal with the book Hitmans and Cassidy's. Like, you don't want no clown
Right.
going on talking too much. Like,
Definitely
you don't need that. So a while ago, he kind of alluded and mentioned retiring, and then we didn't see no RBE cards. And then the year started, and there was no cards, and we like, well, damn, not even an RBE card. They tore last year up. They got League of the Year, Event of the Year, all of that shit last year. Last year was crazy for them. What the fuck happened?
Yep.
So then we like, well, damn, ARP must have really retired. So he went live today on YouTube. Check it out on his YouTube. And we know he's long-winded and sometimes cryptic. But long story short, he said that he's been working towards retirement for quite a while now. The times he's been mentioning it and stuff like that and thinking about it, it's really been a process for him where he didn't want to just go cold turkey. He wanted to, like, get used to the idea of it.
Okay.
He said he went so hard last year because when he's working, he's working. So when you have an event like Max Out 3, where he said it might have been $500,000 to throw that event based on payouts and all of that shit.
Not surprised. That would sounds about right for the budget of that event.
He's like, that's real work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he put the real work in and he insured it. And it could be looked at as a crown jewel, a good way to walk away. But his intention was to just do the work until he felt like not doing it no more. And he did it the right way. So now he's saying he's retired. But what he said is, niggas is also probably in trouble. He's telling motherfuckers to tread very lightly because though he's retired, he will not stop talking. And since he no longer has to respect business or maybe need a favor from any of you motherfuckers, he can say what he want.
Who was that directed towards?
A lot of people. Like with ARP and his situation being RBE versus URL minions and all type of people, that wasn't really a direct shot at all. That was just like in general, I believe.
Okay.
But he is not the only owner in RBE. There are scheduled RBE events coming up very soon right now. I don't remember the exact dates, but I feel like it's one next week or some shit, or the week after.
That was going to be my next question is like, why wouldn't he sell the business? But
He had partners in it. It's similar to URL.
that makes sense.
Not so many. Similar to him. He's not as big of a face as Smack is. Neither are his partners similar to Smack. You see what I'm saying? But everybody knows who Wing is and is one other person. And he has homies that help, businessmen that's homies that invest in certain things for him. Might help him run a play or something. So there's moving pieces besides just him, which we kind of assume because, like you said, a $500,000 event or anything close to it is a huge undertaking.
Yes.
So it ain't never been just him. He's been the face of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like ARP is done with it. But he is a businessman. He is an entrepreneur. He's always been in a position where we never thought he needed battle rap.
So, question. Is the RBE roster going to switch up, do you think? Or were they like unanimous business picks, not just ARP picks? Because him being the face also kind of implies that he has a lot of decision-making power.
I think if you look at it strategically and business-wise, before he left in these last 2 years, he set up a kind of structure and a hierarchy that RB didn't have before. Like the same way we used to talk about PGs and all that in URL.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got bricks in RBE, right? And bricks are higher up on a scale, basically than PGs because PGs are trying to get in. Bricks are the representation of the situation. So you got people like 757 Caution and all of them running around saying First Lady of the Bricks and you know what I mean? We run this, we do this. I think that he created an environment to where it's more of a team atmosphere than it's ever been at RBE.
Okay.
And I think that that works to benefit the company overall. Now, you might have some people, it's like sports. I came to play for this coach. That coach ain't there no more. I need out.
Right.
It's possible. But I also think that when you look at the alternative and you look at the competitor talking about slashing prices and who he's going to be loyal to and who's not getting paid and why should I pay y'all more than they pay y'all and all of that,
Yeah.
it also don't make it look real tantalizing to go somewhere else and keep using those entities against each other anymore. Because that's what niggas used to do. I want more money from Smack. I'm going to go tell ARP I want something. When ARP say he going to give it to me, Smack going to give it to me.
Assuming that the RBE caliber and quality stays at the same level.
Well, one of the things, best event of the year, best league of the year, Cody, all came for the same league last year.
Agreed.
Rosenberg was kicking up dust before he fell back, and we don't really know the reasons. Well, he actually said it. It's financial, basically, but either way, Show Off and them, like, it's motherfuckers over there that's dogs, that's monsters, that's like, they bring value to the brand. They're good assets. And he could still get an A-Ward or whoever randomly.
Yeah.
Not he, them. Sometimes we have business relationships, and this is even in corporate. The company will give you a go-between. Every time you need to talk about business, you talk to this person. This person is your personal handler, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your mom deals in business that's similar to that, where you know who the fuck you dealing with every time you go over there.
Yeah.
That might affect some things, but I don't think as much now that battle rap looks like it's in limbo. I think you're gonna talk to whoever's talking to you nice, and you're gonna figure out something that may be more beneficial through good business and loyalty than trying to play the other game like it used to be played. Niggas was treating it like the streets, yo. He won $1,500 for the pound. Lying. Nigga like, I got $1,450. You was about to pay $2,000 over there. Anyway. Whatever.
Are we done with battle rap?
I think we done with that. But I do want to do this for ARP. Nobody's 100% right, but he's been a gentleman through all that shit. And when he's wrong, he says it. So shout out to him, man, and everybody that for what he's done on that side, and for all the people he's created opportunities and paychecks for and fed their babies. I think it's beautiful. So he can do what he want, man. Put time in. I think it was 10 years. Yes. What's the name? Max Out 3 was the 10-year anniversary.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good
It's a
for
long
him.
time to do anything, especially as volatile as battle rap. God damn it. And that's part of what he said too. That's what I wanted to say. You had spoke earlier. He said he had spoke to Briz, and Briz was talking about when you in the shit, like when you following it, watching it, and all of that, it's like that cloud stays over you, that dark cloud, and you constantly dealing with that. And when you step out of it, it's a little different. So even if this is a break, he deserves it. He deserves it. It's a volatile business, man. It's rough out there in them streets. Every venue different. Every city different. Everybody you talk to might not have graduated 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do business with them over text messages and phone calls.
And everybody thinks they're worth a hell of a lot more than they probably are.
And then you realize after they talked all that big shit that they don't know how to board a plane or put a card down for incidentals on a hotel room.
They don't even have a debit card.
So, you know. We seen Yoshi fighting that shit for a while. Like, I'm not paying incidental, whatever that is. They're like, they're gonna give it back to you. I'm not putting my card down. Like, yeah, because you don't even understand that that's part of it.
You don't even have the $50 on your card to be able to give it up for 4 days.
Because you know it ain't 400 where she was staying at that time.
No.
Anyway.
Where are we going next? We want to go Drake or we want to go Diddy?
Damn it, let's go Diddy.
All right. Do you want to start? Let's start with the raid.
And I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because that was literally when you said go Diddy. I'm like, which one? All right, cool. As long as you was in the same predicament as me. Yeah, so about an hour before we went live, maybe two, a lot of stuff started surfacing saying that Diddy's homes were being raided in Miami and Los Angeles, I believe simultaneously by Homeland Security and the feds and LAPD in the LA case. I'm guessing the same in Miami. But from the LA mansion, estate, more fair to say, right? It's like an estate.
Yeah.
You see visibly two of his sons that we are familiar with standing out there handcuffed, which I guess when you're black, it's part of the procedure. But they don't look uncomfortable either. But the House of Cards is starting to fall, it looks like, and it's starting to look like a repeat of a story we've seen over and over and over again when it comes to the Bill Cosbys and the R. Kellys and the so forth and so on, powerful black men that have got caught up in scandals. It's like this is so familiar that it makes you feel like you already know what the outcome is going to be, which isn't true, but it makes you feel like that. Like, oh, I seen this play before. I know how this ends.
I was about to say, I mean, rich white people's houses get raided all the time and nothing happens. Look
They
at Trump.
complain about the motherfuckers waking up their kids and having guns.
Look at Trump.
But I don't know what Diddy did to nobody, right? I know a lot of people that have been around him, close to him, whatever have you, and a lot, like, we know they were close to him, have been saying a lot of stuff for years. But this is looking like, even if he beats these situations, which we don't know how many of them it is, it's going to be on some Trump shit in a minute, the way people just keep popping up out the woodworks.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if he'll be able to come back as the same businessman after this type of shit. Like, this looks like, even if they're wrong, it could ruin you. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I think we have to remember that at the end of the day, Diddy is still a genius. So
Still be able to go into business with somebody.
I think that, like, Diddy is going to take the Kanye route and, like, start saying,
Go anti.
fuck the establishment. I'm gonna do it all from the mud. Like, I'm gonna do it all myself, and I'm still gonna get this money. And I think that there, you know, as much as Diddy has a bunch of people coming out and, you know, making these statements against him, he also has a lot of people who are still in his corner too.
Russ went to Bali, K. He ain't been back yet.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Like, even with the like, now there's people that saying in the club shooting with Shine that they actually saw Diddy busting his gun, which is something that none of us really assumed. We always assumed that Shine was riding for Diddy and held him down as a gangster would. But this motherfucker's actually saying they seen Diddy busting his gun in that club, and that's just now coming to the surface. Like, it's a lot going on right now with him, yo. Are you reading something?
no, not relevant.
All right, cool. So, like, whatever, we'll get more information. Like I said, is new. We've been on air for about an hour, and like I said, this is from 2 to 3 hours before we went live. That it started really making its rounds.
You know what just made me think though?
50 already hopped out of there with his shit.
I wonder if this house raid has anything to do with the reopening of Tupac's case and everything that came out or is going to come
That's
out in that
another
trial.
possibility. Like, that's why I said when you mentioned the Trump thing, like, this is very comparable because there's stuff coming from a lot of different directions for him right now.
Right.
And
Right.
They just solved the Jam Master Jay case, and you know how long that took. Like, they get it done.
Oh, so Rolling Stone just said 3 hours ago that the homes were raided as part of a sex trafficking investigation.
Which is what Cassie was talking about.
Yeah.
And not only her, but part of what Cassie was talking about. And her people came out and made a statement since his house got raided too. And they said they're on the side of the police enforcement and the law, so forth and so forth. And they hope that people get justice. But I don't know if they're able to, like, what was the situation where he paid her off? Is her testimony or whatever she said before that exempt from all of this shit? Can they still call on her? Was that like
I mean,
get
if
out
you,
the country money?
I guess certain things would be sealed, but in the case like this where you're arguing for a larger charge that incorporates actions from the previous trial,
She
some
could
of
still
that
get
would
called
have to
in.
get unsealed and she could get subpoenaed.
Because like people are saying stuff like they're looking for tapes. First of all, I'm pretty sure there's no more tapes. He's not dumb as Trump, I hope. If there was tapes. Allegedly,
Yeah.
so to speak. But any evidence or whatever, so have you, of these acts. And it's like, all right, if something's found that has her involvement in it, or if there's a witness that comes that ties her into it, she could pull a non-disclosure agreement and be like, I can't come to court.
No, she can't do that.
So he might have wasted like $30 million.
No, so a court settlement is different than.
He didn't settle in court. He settled out of court.
So then, yes, he might have just wasted $30 million.
Shit. And I'm saying, I don't know what the number was. None of us do, but I'm just saying.
Now, it depends on like what the stipulations of that settlement were and whether his lawyer can argue that those records stay sealed or not. But I would imagine if this turns into a larger case, they will be unsealed.
Because there's a flip side to this, right? If I wind up getting prosecuted, going through trial and all of that, based on something that you said, and now when they call you to trial, you not speaking, you don't remember none of this shit, I'm suing your ass.
No, she can't. She wouldn't be able to claim any sort of like.
Because, you know, there's that whole, like, if a female, we've been debating this for years, if a female claim rape and it's found out that that didn't happen, why she don't get no time?
Right. Right.
I think that's kind of applicable.
I mean, I think. I'll be honest. I think Diddy is.
Insulated?
Yes, I think he's insulated, but I also think that like when people are given fame and the luxuries that come with that, it can be a very dangerous, quick pathway to accusations like this.
Absolutely.
Like when you're used to being in this state of power and like everybody around you, you can't even trust what their intentions are to be around you. It makes everybody feel less than human to you.
I done went through bullshit because of status and not even money.
Exactly. And from the other perspective, when a woman wants to achieve a certain status or wants to even just be in a certain relationship or is like in love with somebody, they will compromise who they are, what they like, what they're comfortable with doing to be in that position.
Right. And then when it's burnt out, she got to win.
And
or reality sets in and she starts realizing she wasn't as comfortable with those things.
right, and let me be very clear. Like, I'm not at all trying to victim blame, or like, we do not know the truth as far as like
We know it's some funny shit. We don't know how funny.
exactly. And I want to be clear that like I'm not saying that, you know, that Cassie was not a victim in this situation. Like, if what she said happened, then yes, she's
Like I said,
absolutely a victim.
if 2% of what she said actually happened, she's definitely a victim and he's a monster.
Yes. But even the things that she is saying he did, I understand the pathway
Hey, Cam.
to I understand the pathway to how those accusations could be true. And do I think that there is some truth to the things that are being said? Yes, I think Diddy's a freak. I think that he likes
Extreme
orgies.
sports.
Yeah. I think that he likes nudity at parties. I think that he throws crazy ragers. I think all of those things are absolutely true. So all that to say, like I fame is dangerous, and as crazy as some of these accusations sound, they could be very real.
And I want to give a warning real quick to young people. We all have thrown parties, had events, hustled events, did whatever we did to show people a good time or to make some money. Be very careful about the circumstances that you host in. Because whatever happens there can fall back on you and will fall back on you. And it might take 10, 20 years, statute of limitations, civil suits, whatever the hell happens, it'll come back up and you might have been none the wiser, or it might have been something that you heard about 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
So be very careful, because as somebody that promotes and throws events, it's a large responsibility that comes with that.
Absolutely.
There's a reason that I haven't been gun-ho about throwing a cookout in the city for the last few years.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be, no. I try to do things in controlled environments with proper security and proper clearance, so that it's not no back alley bullshit that we could just wind up with a whole nother twist going on because something wasn't accounted for.
And all y'all women trying to be Instagram models, please know the dangers that you are getting yourself into when you go to these types of parties sometimes. Like, if you get a gig where you're modeling at a party, know what might come with that. Know what is in place if somebody touches you the wrong way. What is your course of action? How do you respond to that?
Right.
These are things that you got to think about before you take that gig, because as women, you know, you're going to be put in that situation sooner or later. And while it is the man's fault for putting you in that situation, you still need to know how to react in the moment.
You still don't want to deal with the trauma. You have to protect yourself.
Right, absolutely.
And
So-
one thing I want to say too, a lot of times I know that women say, well, I'm going to bring my home girl.
That's not good enough.
We see a lot of these cases, whether it's the Epsteins and all of the shit that's going on that's unfolding in real time.
Your homegirl brought you there.
Some of these homegirls lined them up. Some of these homegirls turned a blind eye. Some of these homegirls wound up preoccupied. Some of these homegirls woke up, you wasn't out there, and they went home.
Yep.
And a lot of stories that I've heard as somebody that has a lot of female friends that are really my homegirls, I've heard horror stories about a lot of the stuff that happens. They weren't there by themselves. They didn't go by themselves, and they didn't go with a man.
Right. Right.
But they went with the whole, oh, it's niggas over there, oh, it's dudes over there, oh, it's free liquor there, or it's a bar where we could da-da-da-da-da, and things got crazy, and their homegirl didn't save them.
Yeah.
And sometimes it ruined their relationship because it caused a discrepancy between the two homegirls, where one of them it happened to and the other one's in denial or protecting somebody. It gets bad, yo. These
Yeah.
girls trips get bad. Do not trust your homegirl more than you trust the advice that elders have been giving you throughout your life.
Well, more than you
Please.
trust yourself. If you find yourself uncomfortable in a situation, get out of that situation. Even if you don't understand exactly why you're feeling uncomfortable or all of the details of what's going on, remove yourself, then figure it out.
And watch Face Off. Get you a little blade, stick the knife in the thigh, twist, run. My bad.
Or, you know, an alarm, pepper spray, carry something.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Now I was joking with Cash about this because he's already picked up on the whole little thing. That's his twist, you know. In battle rap, pause and AO and all that is a really, really, really big thing. Which they would have AO'd if I said that in front of them. But I'm from Philly, and I'm not in battle rap. But for the last couple weeks, we've seen people saying No Diddy is the new pause term, right?
Right.
When I first seen it, I'm like, y'all always doing some shit. And I knew people were going to pick up on it, but I didn't realize it was going to get this crazy this fast.
It's all over the place now. Everybody's saying it.
And, I mean, I watched Mace and Cameron debate it on It Is What It Is. And then Mace went to use it, and he felt weird saying it. And not because of his allegiance to Diddy, because he's actually laughed at the situation before. But it just, it feels weird to just put somebody's name on that. How do you feel about No Diddy?
I don't like it. I don't. I think one, it's just, I don't like the whole pause thing to begin with. I think it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Let me turn on the K-cam and say that one more time. I think it's stupid. All right? This whole pause nonsense makes no sense.
Nonsense makes no sense. It's crazy.
But anyway, so therefore, I think the No Diddy thing is just a new form of bullying. That's what I think.
Bullying?
Yes. Not that they're bullying Diddy, but I think that
So no homo was bullying?
it can be, yeah. You're forcing somebody to fit into this box with every piece of language that they possibly say. Like, it's ridiculous. It's insane. And the whole time, you have to be thinking homoerotically to even figure out that you're saying something homoerotic that you need to pause. So what's really going on here?
And you calling me on it, especially when it's not something that's just blatantly crazy that we might have just laughed at anyway.
Right.
When you go so deep, so to speak, into what I'm saying, it's like you really went there. Your brain is too far to the left.
Like, at least That's What She Said used to be, like, the obvious
That's
shit.
what she said. It's hilarious.
And it used to be the
Greatest
obvious.
joke known to man. Works every time.
Like, when you said something really, really, like, okay, that's really what she said. Like, you caught it yourself most of the time.
Oh, so pause is the black. That's what she said. That's crazy.
That's exactly what it is. But even That's What She Said got old. Pause has outdone its welcome. It can go now.
I'm not big on the whole trend. I was in Baltimore 20 years ago, plus when Harlem and all of them made it famous around the world, and I was hanging with New York dudes and Jersey dudes, and it became a thing, and you had to be careful. But what I knew then, and I played along at some point because it just gets so ridiculous. Kind of like how SammieSTREAMS say, like, niggas piss you off so much that you just start trying to make them mad. But what I realized, the main reason I never enjoyed the practice of it, because I can see being aware of the words you say out of your mouth, sharpening your awareness on certain things, especially in the battle rap community. But it fucks up the flow of conversation.
Right.
It ruins the flow of conversation. And then at a certain point, it got out of control where I could even say, pause, and motherfuckers will still laugh for 5 minutes and make jokes for 5 minutes. And now, what the fuck is we talking about?
Or, like, you got students saying pause at their teacher in class. Like, what?
They usually just snicker.
Either way.
They start laughing and giggling and shit when you say something crazy.
Either way, it's making all of these children think homoerotically on a regular basis.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, though. A A lot of times the kids be doing the crazy shit. We be looking at them like, that's weird. Like, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of times, these kids nowadays, and I think you said one time, like, they don't have the same hang-ups as we did and
They
all
don't.
of that.
Yeah.
So, like, but some of this stuff is, like, dangerous. And they don't get it. Like, I saw a young boy rub a grown man's bald head in a way that was very strange. And he wasn't that young.
He must not have seen Quiet on the Set yet.
Oh, my goodness. We can go there. So, no Diddy is a no for us.
No Diddy is a no for
I'm
us.
too old and I'm from Philly, so I don't even adapt. But I was at a battle when Cash said some shit. And the one OG in the background, we was in Marcy, the OG in the background said, man, I'm from Harlem. I'm too Harlem for that. But that was fire. And he had to, like, you know, get over himself for a second. And Cash line wasn't necessarily paused, but it sounded crazy. Look at me saying it, but you know what I mean. And shout out to Smack with the GPS thing. He made that go crazy, but I thought that was actually funnier. To be honest. Is that how you spell scandal? I thought you spelled scandal with an A.
There you go.
I'm telling you how to spell. That's crazy. Look at the big brain on the sand.
You know, I'm actually terrible at spelling.
I never knew that about you. I'll teach you.
Yeah, I used to get, like, my worst marks in spelling in elementary school.
Yeah. No, I'm fucking with you. Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Quiet on the Set. I didn't see it, but you wanted, you know.
Oh, man. It ruined my childhood.
Oh.
No, really, though. Like, there were...
You need to leave.
Watching Quiet on the Set, there were so many scenes, or not even scenes that I necessarily remembered watching, but, like, shows that I remember watching. And, like, yeah, this is a very typical episode of that show. And, oh, wow, that is definitely a cum shot. Like, where did that come from? Why was that the premise of this show? Or this episode of this show? So it starts that way. And it just kind of takes the Band-Aid off right away of, like, look at what you were watching as a child. And then it gets even deeper, and they go into all of the interpersonal things that were going on behind the scenes on the set. All the ways that, you know, these child stars were being taken advantage of, both, you know, in terms of, like, their professional, you know, acting, just long hours, but then also, like, you know, some specific cases of sexual assault. And Drake Bell came out and named himself as one of the victims of Brian Peck, who was arrested and prosecuted for his crimes. But what most people don't realize is he did 16 months. Like, he's back out in the industry.
He got hired by Disney or somebody after that, right?
Yeah, he got hired by The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, another kids Disney TV show. And, you know, since Quiet on the Set has come out, there's just been a lot of media chatter about all of this, about the larger implications, because as much as Quiet on the Set did get a bunch of well-known child actors from our favorite shows to come and talk about these things, there were also a few people who were missing, you know, for a multitude of reasons. Like, they talked a lot about Amanda Bynes, but obviously Amanda Bynes was not interviewed for the show. So
Why obviously? Explain to me why obviously.
Amanda Bynes has been going through a lot of mental health issues for the last, like, 10 or so years.
I wasn't aware of her situation.
Yeah, she was under a conservatorship similar to Britney Spears that ended around the time that Britney Spears did. So she hasn't had very much access to social media to be able to, like, tell her story. She hasn't had control of her business for a very long time. And since she has gotten control back, she's been very private. Yeah. But back when she was under conservatorship, and this is off of some, like, heavy duty TikTok digging. But back when she was under conservatorship, she actually had a fake Twitter account that was known to be hers. She had actually posted a picture of her driver's license to identify that it was her account back in like 2013 or something. But so the name of the account is Ashley Banks. And Ashley Banks tweeted, and this was a couple of years ago, she tweeted that as a 13-year-old, she got pregnant by her boss and was forced to have an abortion. So a lot of folks are putting that together with Quiet on the Set and assuming that Dan Schneider got Amanda Bynes pregnant and forced her to get an abortion at 13. And that's just one example of like some of these other stories that are somewhat alluded to, but not, the person isn't interviewed, so we don't know what their story is. But TikTok is digging, let me tell you. There's accusations. I don't want to say accusations. It makes it sound negative, but there are questions about whether Leonardo DiCaprio was Brian Peck's first victim. There's a lot more questions about, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and whether things kind of carried over to the Disney Channel, because the Disney Channel did end up hiring a lot of ex-Nickelodeon folks. So yeah, there's just, it brought up a lot of questions. A lot of folks in the industry are making statements one way or another. So Dan Schneider actually made a statement himself in response to the accusations that are brought against him in this documentary series. And he said that he probably owes some people on set an apology. And he recognizes that some of the behavior that happened on set would not be appropriate in today's age. But that was basically the extent of the apology. Like, he did not make a private apology to anybody who was actually interviewed and had like real examples of what he did and how he tormented these children. And he really didn't take accountability for the most egregious of the accusations. So yeah, it was, my childhood is ruined.
I heard some things. Well, first and foremost, every time I hear about this, my first question is, how is this a kids network full of kids, for kids, and the first priority is not protecting these children? How is there so many things that are being blatantly overlooked from on set, in green rooms and dressing rooms, behind the scenes, and on camera, that it's just like nobody said shit?
Yeah.
When there's hundreds, thousands of kids, y'all funnel through this motherfucker. And then the other thing was the boy Drake Bell.
Mm-hmm.
They said he had told his dad about the case and somebody coming forward anonymously, and his dad was like, "Oh, I knew it was going on. Thank God it wasn't you." And it was him.
Yes.
Do you know how crazy that is?
Well, so, and to give folks a little bit more background on that statement, the story is Drake Bell's dad used to be his manager. So he was the one taking him to and from set in the very beginning of his time at Nickelodeon. Unfortunately, Brian Peck started to label Drake's dad as a problem on set.
Because his dad was raising red flags.
Exactly. So his mom ended up taking over the role of taking him to and from set and being his main supervision on set. And the one thing that his dad said to his mom when he was doing it was, keep that man away from our son.
And she did the opposite.
She let Drake stay over at that man's house on multiple occasions. That man was driving Drake to and from auditions every night. I can't fathom. And
she ignored it and turned a blind eye to it.
Yep. And it wasn't until Drake's girlfriend's mother
noticed that something was weird.
recognized the way that he was insistently calling Drake's phone and how inappropriate that was.
So no grown man calls a young man like that. Like, that's crazy. What's going on?
Exactly. So Drake's story is just so heartbreaking. For him to have to endure that and at that age and to really have no adults that had his back in that scenario. Like, that's it's awful.
All right, so off of that, and thanks for that, because you watched it, I didn't. I've just heard a lot of talk about it, and I've seen certain things stood out to me that I just wanted to mention. But we appreciate you for that one. For those who care, I have a health update. To whom it may concern. Told y'all a few weeks ago, probably a couple months at this point, that I had been dealing with an eye infection and I was fighting through it. Y'all seen the episodes with the shades on and all of that cool shit. I had a follow-up appointment this week on Friday, and I was told that I'm good. I can discontinue the meds. I should basically have a clean bill of health. So,
Big hand.
Not gonna lie, that shit got scary at certain points.
Definitely did.
They start talking to you certain ways, ask you certain questions about your history, and it's like, am I going blind? But we out of the woods with that one, and hopefully we don't have to deal with that no more. But I just wanted to give an update to whoever cared and whoever was praying for me and all of that, because I really don't rant and rave about it, but I did mention it on here in the beginning. I am doing better. The doctors are comfortable and good with my progress. So, you know, now when I win shades, back to by choice. And I get out of this light sensitivity phase, which I've been dealing with because of the drops I was on for 2 months, and that's the worst part. Like, once you get over the pain, now you can't go out in the sun at all without being irritated, and you got to drive in that shit. That shit is a monster. But I handle pain like a G, so y'all probably ain't even peep. That's enough about that. I don't even like talking about it, but
All right.
I'll let you pick the next one.
Let's talk about Drake.
Drake? What Drake do?
Rick Ross versus Drake.
Oh, so I don't know if you saw this, right, Kay?
I don't think I did. I've seen a lot about Drake in the last couple of days, but I don't think I saw this part.
This was, so Ross had a little chick, little young joint he was messing with for the last few months. And she used to go live doing all type of shit, fucking up sloppy joes, always bragging, talking down on his baby moms and ex-girlfriends, throwing shots at people, being in their comments, all of that. She was just doing too much.
Oh, she was a mess.
She wasn't acting like she'd been there before.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people was just telling her, like, yo, calm down. Like, you just, for right now, like, you don't have anything that he owes you besides what he's already done for you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, you got that. You don't know how much more you got. Chill out. Stop judging other people. Leave people alone. Do your thing. Leave us out your business. That type of shit.
Especially like mothers of kids. Like that. That's never a good look.
So then he drops her, pops up with a new chick like the next day or something.
Uh-huh.
That goes public. She publicly lets everybody know that it's over, of course, because she has to give the play-by-play for everything because she's running her own Oprah network in her head. So Drake reaches out to her.
Reaches out to the chick.
Yep. To
In
the ex.
true Playboy fashion.
I mean, your city tonight. Come out to the show. I got you. He sent her the personalized tickets with her name on the box with the 3 on it, meaning 3 tickets, I guess.
Does Drake just really enjoy sloppy seconds?
He knows that niggas is sensitive about their O's, because he is. To be honest, like, if you really play it, some of that shit just seem corny. But if you somebody that buys into all of that shit, you feel like you killing niggas.
Because mind you, this is not the first time that's been his move. Like, I'm just going to go after his bitch.
Yeah, and I mean, once any nigga with money breaks up with you, if Drake calls you, you're gonna go. Like, she's going. So she went to the show. We don't know anything about if anything happened afterwards. We didn't see any moments with them, but we definitely saw her footage from the, she documented everything.
I'm sure.
So I just thought that, like, that was crazy. Another chess move from the boy. Poppy.
I think it's a reach to call that chess. We call that checkers.
Might be checkers, but I thought that, I'm still talking about for what he's trying to accomplish.
Well, he's in a different league.
Yeah, and what I respect and what he does, I can't even compare. Nobody cares. So you can go to the Kendrick verse?
Wait, was that it? That was the rest of the beef?
It's not a beef, it was just an update on a situation where the last thing that happened was Drake grabbed Ross' little old bitch and it looked like he might be courting her. Possibly might have put pipe in her mouth that night. We don't know.
Interesting. Wait, but if you're Ross, do you care?
I mean, not publicly.
Right.
Not publicly. But some of these niggas do. There's a lot of ways to look at it. You could just be like I've always had a theory, and I told my youngins this one years ago. There's certain homies that you got that if they could book the chick that you used to mess with, they're going to wife her. Because you used to mess with her. Not because of whatever. They gonna wife her. It's a status thing. She has status now. That wasn't nothing about millionaires. So it's a thing. Niggas love following up. And they'll put some credit on it too. And be scared to fuck it up because they feel like everybody watching them. So it gets weird. It's Like That. Future featuring Kendrick Lamar. Like That. Future album drop. I'm like, cool. I never really run out for a Future album. Then everybody kept saying that Kendrick had this verse on there. And he went nuts on J. Cole and Drake. So they said 3 things that caught my attention. Kendrick was on there on a Future song. Crazy. And he went nuts on somebody. Third part, J. Cole and Drake. I'm like, oh yes, the big 3. Gotta love it. I'm excited. So I tapped in. And I turned the record on. You all right?
Yeah, I'm looking for a filter.
I turn the record on, and it starts with a crazy couple samples put together. It's the and then it's so I'm like, oh, this is popping. This sounds good. Future start rapping and singing or whatever he was doing, and I wasn't with it. I was so confused, if we being honest.
Yeah, Future was a little weak.
After I realized some of the things Kendrick said, some of the things Future said made sense if they're related, but it was weird. But then Kendrick hopped on the motherfucker, and he did his Kung Fu Kenny warm-up, started stretching, you could hear it. And then he just starts throwing fucking ninja stars everywhere. And it's like, yo, hold up, did he just say? No, he said that. Oh shit, E40, no, what's the name? Oh, that's crazy. Yo, what the fuck? Oh, he just said the thing. Oh, he said, fuck your big 3, nigga. It's just big meat, nigga. And dropped the beat out on that part and then kept rap. It's like, yo, it felt so strategic, so perfect. And it's kind of what we've been waiting for. We don't get enough out of Kendrick, but we definitely want to see these niggas spar or at least give us their opinion on how they feel about being grouped together. We kind of know, but we need direct shots. We've been waiting on it. So the people are excited. What did you think?
Am I the only one that never grouped Drake with J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar?
What happens is there was a time where the best MCs arguably in hip hop was Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now it starts. That's kind of how like the big three conversation started before it was a big three. So now you always look at the top three niggas in the game, and arguably for the last 10 or so years, it's been Kendrick and Drake and J. Cole, and they're from similar classes. Not necessarily the same. They might be the same, but very close in classes, like when they came out and when they popped off. And Big Sean used to be an argument too. But since then, Big Sean has taken so many hiatuses that he's kind of dropped out, which is crazy because he dropped the same day as this, and it kind of got overlooked. And he said something more in there that like kind of didn't age well once this dropped. So it was crazy. But it used to be people would, you know, depending on your preference, Big Sean might have been in your three. So that's been a barbershop conversation for a long time.
I still put Big Sean over Drake when we're talking about rappers.
But when you talk about productivity, appeal, and all of that shit, Drake is in every conversation. And he's rapping on niggas. He won a battle against Meek,
I get it.
a street MC.
I put Drake in the category of like Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Not J.
That was
Cole
mighty white of you.
and K. Dot. But, you know.
No, but like I said, when it come to barbershop, basketball court, conversation, arguments for this generation, that's been an argument. And on a sneaky, 21 has kind of been sneaking up on the low through what he's been able to do on features and affiliation.
So is 21 on Team Drake? Because they just had that album together?
I feel like he's still over there, but a lot of people started unfollowing each other this week. We got to see where the chips land. There's relationships that we thought was decent that ain't decent no more. And they saying all of this shit is a lot of the stuff that's going on right now is coming from weird places, so to speak.
What does that mean? Elaborate.
Future and Drake is supposed to be because Drake was pillow talking.
Oh.
But the discrepancy is whether that's a problem that was directly between Future and Drake or Metro and Drake. Might have been Metro, bitch.
Oh, that might have been why Metro and Drake were beefing last year that nobody could figure out quite why.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
But this is because people are forced to put the pieces together and combine subliminals and interview clips and all type of dumb shit. So we don't know. But
Well, that is one thing that I appreciated about Kendrick's verse. There wasn't really much to guess at.
no.
It was just straight up, no, don't play with me.
Yeah. And
I shoot back, and I shoot harder.
You know that's Kendrick ad-lib. Nah, I thought he bodied it. It's typical Kendrick Lamar. And I was at the damn tour in like the 8th row. If y'all never been to a live Kendrick Lamar performance, you are really bullshitting with your life.
Yeah, he's a performer.
That boy was on stage for damn near 2 hours, and he might have had a couple features and a ninja. It was just him out there. And it was crazy. It was crazy. I almost had to beat somebody's son up in there that night. I taught him a life lesson, though. I was the OG about it.
Well, that's nice of you to say.
Yeah, man, these motherfuckers was throwing shit at people, like, on the floor. Like, you know how much these people pay for these seats? You about to get yourself hurt in. Anyway.
While we're talking about artists, talk to me about this Usher thing.
What I should do?
You said something about Usher and the devil, and I got confused.
No, Usher was giving a speech at the NAACP, and he went to make a statement, and he cut it short, and then he finished it, and people said that he was about to thank the devil, and then he realized where he was at and changed it. Because he says the. Like, he gets the D out. I forget the word he exchanged with it. I've been drinking for 2 hours now. But it wasn't that at all. And he had to actually respond and tell people that they were dead wrong for even putting his name in that light, how much he believes in his God, and he won't even play like that.
That's what I was about to say. Like, he's a religious man.
Usher has always been Usher.
He's
yo.
always been a halfway gospel singer. Like,
But like the internet is a motherfucker, yo. He literally stumbled on a word in an acceptance speech, and he told him, he was like, to be honest with you, I hate teleprompters. That shit started moving fast because they was rushing my speech because I was talking slow. He said I
Aw.
stumbled over a word, you know. But the fact that somebody like Usher, after the year he's been having, has to peek his head out and tell you motherfuckers like, yo, stop trying to do that to my year. It's crazy.
yeah, that's insane.
That's crazy. So I just thought that was a little ironic based on like, out of all the shit we see people go through, y'all gonna say Usher is about to shout the devil out on stage at an NAACP. Like, it's the most ridiculous shit you can figure out, yo. So where we at? Academics and Philly tour?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, so Academics,
Oh,
I hate nerds' opinions on shit they don't understand. So he always bothers me because he's so certain about shit he don't know nothing about 90% of the time. But
and he says anything he wants to from behind his fucking computer screen.
yeah, and then when things get flipped on him, he's cold victim and can still reserve the right to be a civilian and call cops.
Right.
It's very strange. It's very strange. He be about to put money on heads. He about to get something done to people in jail, and then next thing you know, he's a victim. It's cool.
Make it make sense.
It's cool, man. I just stay away from people like that. That's why, you know,
Yep.
walls get closed a little more tighter, man. And all we see is sunlight. But Ak has been going back and forth with Meek for a very long time.
Yes.
An extremely long time.
Years.
Lately, Meek has been turning up on Ak.
Meek's just been turning up. We could stop the sentence there.
And he been saying a lot. He been threatening to do certain things. And then he even said that he told the mayor that Ak was involved in getting some of his homies hurt behind his rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
Industry friends and such. So Ak had made a promise and he stood on it. He said, I'm gonna go to Philly and I'm gonna interview every nigga in Philly that said that you hated on them, that they used to be with you and you did some funny shit, that anybody in Philly that had beef with you, I'm giving them a platform and I'm gonna interview them.
Okay.
He did it. He had anybody damn near from the city so far, and it's still on. But we seeing the pictures pop up and people making posts and tweets about their necks and all of that. He's really running through quite a few Philly rappers to get dirt on Meek. And the one interview that people were most excited about was the Quilly joint. One, because Quilly and Meek's situation has been well documented.
What was filming it?
It started a long time ago.
Gotcha.
I don't want to start lying about details, but my point I'm making right now real quick is Meek has actually been responding to the Quilly interview, not directly, but like saying shit like, if we was really beefing, how was you at such and such block where he shot the video at and everybody's in the middle of the street? Like, niggas ain't allowed to be back on that block. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that going on, but Quilly spent a lot of time dissing Meek. And I remember times where Quilly and Jihad was talking about how Cassidy went over Meek crib and shitted on Meek because Meek was on house arrest, but Cass had all the jewels on and Meek looked like a bum and your jeans ain't this and your sneaks ain't that, and it was weird, yo. So like this has been going on for a while. Wow. I'm trying to remember how it started, but I don't even know if we really do know. But anyway, the Quilly interview, which I believe is out now, I haven't watched it. But a lot of people's reaction is that it's clown shit.
On Quilly's part? On Academic's part?
It looked like two clowns talking about a star is what I'm getting from it.
Well, I don't understand if you... So, I understand that the tour is to get people to talk shit on Meek or whatever. So, obviously it's going to come up at some point in the interview.
But that's cornball shit.
Yes, I agree. But if you get
And
an
why
opportunity,
put yourself directly in the middle of Philly beef?
that too.
That's stupid. That's worse than what you did in Chirac in the long run. My bad. Go ahead.
But if you're given this opportunity to be on a big platform, because at the end of the day, academics is still a big platform.
That
Like,
platform's huge. His sponsorships are huge. He get money.
let's call it what it is. You get the opportunity to be on a big platform. I would make it about everything else that I have going on before I try to even get into this whole.
But it's the Vlad Adam 22 academic style of interview. They're going to ask you what they care about. And that shit is always going to go back to the past.
Well, and that's why you shouldn't take the interview.
But if you need that light, and that's the thing, he actually did No Jumper too. Quilly did. When
I
these
think I saw some pictures from that.
yeah, when these platforms have 4 million, 5 million, 10 million subscribers to them, and you know what that'll do for your imprint and your brand or your brand, whatever have you. Like a motherfucker like Quilly could go on 2 of them platforms and wind up with a weed strain.
Yeah, but
Like dumb shit you don't even think about.
Quilly, you also don't want to be known as that Philly rapper that's beefing with Meek.
I don't want Philly to be known as niggas that every time they go through it, they gotta take it public and draw in the public. Like we seen it enough with the prop, rock, all type of shit. It's like, yo, we know what happened. Some of the like, there was a time where everybody thought everybody in Atlanta was getting along, right? And everybody from Atlanta was saying, man, it's a lot of shit that go on. We just don't be putting y'all in our business. We just present a united front.
Right.
Then
And that's how Philly's
then you
supposed to
see
be.
3 separate crews in Atlanta catch RICO cases against each other
Right.
for beefing with each other. And you like, damn, them niggas was warring this whole time? And they start telling you that they've been following these motherfuckers for 15 years.
Right. That's crazy.
Why do we gotta be the ones that just draw everybody in? Like, ARF learned a lesson. He said with that Fed shit, they don't need evidence. I'm thinking they ain't gonna catch me with nothing. I ain't never been around nothing. No, man. They say you do some shit, somebody believe it, you gonna sit your ass down.
Yep.
It's different. Y'all gonna learn though. Stop beefing publicly. Stop doing it. Stop telling niggas where all the you putting the fucking pieces together for motherfuckers that's just making assumptions.
And at the end of the day, Meek don't owe y'all nothing. You don't.
I don't think Meek owes him anything. I think that
Just because one person from your city gets big doesn't mean that it's his responsibility to put everybody else on. It's not.
I say the same thing about Meek that I would have said about any of these gentlemen that's from that era when it come to like Quilly, Jihad, and all of them niggas that was getting on DVDs and standing on corners airing shit out.
Yeah.
If any one of them would have got an opportunity and blew up and got crazy, whether I appreciated their music or not, I'd have thought they deserved it because they been the nigga that been rapping, that been nice.
Right.
And you deserve an opportunity to go do your fucking thing. But I know niggas that went to the NBA and went overseas who ass I bust when I was hooping. I don't feel no less about myself because they went on to do their thing. I'm still good with it, but I don't think that's how it always goes, man. You see what I'm saying? I think a lot of people, you know, looking at somebody else could make you evaluate where you land at, and you don't like where you at, so they're the problem. And I'm hoping that that's not what this is, but it's starting to get weird, and I'm really sick of our city being easily exploitable and nothing tangible stays in the city.
At all. That's the annoying part.
Really sick of it because we've been the energy, we've been the talent, we've been the vibe. You motherfuckers will run anywhere else and get them all the fucking tape, and we still ain't built nothing here yet. So it's divide and conquer, destroy before you even build. It's fucked up. You all right?
I'm good.
You still rolling?
I am.
You put Royal Cancer up here. I need to hear this one.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into it. Hold on, let me find my graphic. Okay, so if you do not follow anything Royal Family, like a lot of people, you might have missed this. But as of early January, there was an announcement that Kate, who is married to Prince William, who is the next to succeed King Charles, Kate had an abdominal surgery, a planned abdominal surgery, and was going to be stepping away from royal duties until at least Easter.
K-Camp.
Oh, my bad. K-Camp. So she announced that she was going to be stepping away from royal duties until at least Easter. And this started a ton of speculation. Because, mind you, there's been a rumor going on that, like, her husband is cheating on her with somebody who looks exactly like her, except a little bit horsier. And
Ooh, horsier.
I've seen the pictures. It's true. At least she does look like her, except a little bit horsier. I don't know about the affair part. I'm not going to speak to somebody else's marriage. But
She's no look.
anyway, so she announced that she was going to be stepping away. And everybody started speculating what this meant, what was really going on, why did she get abdominal surgery in the first place. And then a few weeks later, King Charles, I just called him Philip. Ooh, that's weird. King Charles announced that he has prostate cancer. And so that kind of took a little bit of the speculation away from Kate, because everybody was like worried about how everybody else was reacting to the prostate cancer announcement. So then fast forward to European Mother's Day, or UK Mother's Day, which was middle of March. They release a photo of Kate with her kids, to celebrate Mother's Day. And this is the first photo that we've seen of her since this announcement that she was stepping back from royal duties. And very quickly, the internet figures out that the photo is heavily photoshopped. Now, quickly, the royals swoop in and make a statement saying that, Kate photoshopped it herself. She was just playing around with, like, her phone editing.
You need to leave.
But if you look at the actual photo and you know anything about Photoshop editing, that was not done with your phone playing around. That is some feathering done in Photoshop, let me tell you. So,
What?
it came out that the news, the AP, stopped circulating the photo, even before Kate made a statement about it. So they stopped circulating the photo altogether because they had shown that it was manipulated as well. So everybody thinks that the photo is completely fake. Now, in response to this whole photo scandal, this week, because mind you, Easter is next week. It's about the time that she said she was going to be resuming duties, and everybody's like, is she gonna come back, or is she something happening? Like, there's rumors that Harry is gonna step back into royal duties to fill some of the holes that are going to be missed. So anyway, so she this week announces that her planned abdominal surgery was for something that they thought was non-cancerous, but now after further testing, it is cancerous. And she has started what they call preventative chemotherapy. Yeah. Now this is very, very interesting because her kids are in line to be, king at some point. And her kids are still quite young. Like, I think the oldest is, I want to say under 12. So this is a very pivotal moment in their lives. Obviously, this is a very traumatic thing to go through.
The boy who was king.
But what's more interesting is King Charles has always been very different than his mother, and has always kind of gone towards being more inclusive with the public and trying to include them more in the royal family dealings and everything that's going on. Whereas, obviously, Prince William is more like his grandmother in the sense of really feeling power and privacy is kind of the way to go. So it's interesting that this announcement did end up coming out. And that is kind of having the media to speculate that it's probably fairly serious. Go ahead.
You know what's interesting to me?
Yes.
One too many. What do they drink over there? They don't drink martinis. What do they drink?
Tea?
One too many spiked teas, and one of them motherfuckers might give a country all they fucking jewels back. No, like the more you go through generations and inclusivity and all of that, like these grandkids might be like, yo, you know what? Here, man, take this shit, man. This ain't ours. They're gonna hate that. They're gonna be rolling in their graves. You might tell too much truth and just be like, you know what? I realized what I said last night. Here, take this. Don't even tell nobody. Y'all back good. Build a museum on me.
Yeah. Well,
I think the more generations we get to, they might start telling on their fucking grandma.
I don't think you're wrong. I think it might end up going that way. I don't think William's gonna be the one to do it.
Well, you
I'll
know,
tell
if you
that
get a
much.
black girlfriend, you gotta move and give up all your rights, right?
Well, that's why Harry's where he is.
Like, how long is that gonna last? How many generations that's gonna go? Somebody gonna pop up and be like, man, it's gonna be like the Pope. Remember the Pope used to say something, and now the new Pope is saying all this new shit?
Yeah.
It's gonna be the same. Times is changing, man. You can't keep raising people ignorant for the sake of some shit that they're never gonna lose. Like, they're going to be rich, wealthy, beyond means forever, regardless of what they give back or what truths get told. You can't take that fortune from them.
Absolutely.
Motherfuckers ain't gonna feel like they fucking up the future if they say something.
Well, and I mean, at this point, the royal family is so symbolic anyway that it's like,
They don't even play the same role. They just there sitting on money.
right, they might even not even see their ability to affect change before they get to the point of like giving back the jewels.
Let's talk about, and thank you for that, because that was very you said quite a bit. I ain't know none of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big deal, and I know that like the royal family is probably not something that our audience is super interested in, but you know, it affects world politics in a pretty deep way. So
One day we're gonna have to get you to explain that, because that's beyond me.
the effect on.
Yeah, we're not doing it now, though.
Okay.
Right now we're gonna do no more All-Star game.
All right.
Did you do you know anything about this?
No, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have asked if it was the basketball all-star game or a different all-star game.
Nah, it's the NBA.
But I assumed correctly, I guess.
So the commissioners came out and said that he's thinking of doing away with the All-Star game, and partially based on the reception that it got from the 3-point competition between Steph and the young lady, I forget her name.
Mm-hmm.
He may want to do something that includes the women. He may want to do something that's us versus international play. There's quite a few options. But I watched It Is What It Is talk about it earlier, and I kind of agree with what Cam said, and I didn't think about it that way till he said it, which is why I'm giving him credit, because sometimes they say the shit I already said. But not they, I mean like people that comment on these things in general. But he said it felt like a warning shot. It felt like a heads up. Like, yo, if y'all don't participate in a way that is conducive to keeping it, it will be gone. But it doesn't sound like it's final. And he's playing with options. And mind you, when we're used to something for so long, we can't even fathom the other ways that it could be innovated that have nothing to do with what we're used to that might be dope.
I was gonna say,
He got options we don't know about.
hot take. I don't I don't mind it. Like, I want the selection of all-stars to happen, but if they don't end up playing a basketball game against each other, that doesn't bother me.
What iteration or what other thing would you replace it with? I mean, like the thing on the table is intergender or some way of including the WNBA in it, right? Which is seeming more realistic anyway because just a few years ago they've been allowed to add March Madness to their tournaments.
Yeah.
So it's like, or then they said might, our best against international players, international all-stars, or split it up, international versus local. But like then we start falling in the Olympic and international play type of play, but it still might be more exciting, and the U.S. might lose.
I think it could be interesting, and now the logistics of this would have to be figured out, but I think it could be interesting to do like the rookies or like breakout year folks versus the upcoming draft crew.
Interesting.
I think it could be interesting to do.
It was suggested to do the WNBA rookies versus the NBA rookies.
That could be cool.
Because they have rookie sophomore game or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and I like that game better because those are the players that are actually more likely to play during the game.
They need to look.
Yeah. I like the idea of women versus men's skill challenges a lot.
I like the skill challenges being better skill challenges.
Yeah, and I want more thought to be placed in it. Like, I want it to be more of like an NFL Columbine sort of feel where like
you have to be a fucking surgeon to do this shit.
Yeah.
You gotta be one of them. You can't just throw it into a hoop bigger than my table.
Right. Like, I could have made any of those passes. Come on now.
Like, yeah, that was weird.
So that I would be very excited about because I do think that the skills challenges are really entertaining, and I think I think that there's a little bit more with ball handling that they could kind of go into, like.
And we got a lot of technology now that can be used in ways we probably not thinking of too.
Absolutely.
To make some of these things more interesting or more skill based.
Yeah.
Because digitally and video, what they're able to do with the kind of shit they got access to, you could do precision shit that may not be specifically on the court.
Or I mean, even something as simple as like a reach challenge, like who has the highest reach in the NBA. I would love to watch that. I'd be interested.
I'm trying to figure out what makes that interesting as a event on All-Star, but I'm pretty sure once you wrap your head around it, it'll be a PowerPoint about it, and you'll show me anyway.
No, I mean, I think people watch high jump in Olympics. It's the same sort of thing. Like, you're taking people who are the best at their craft and then comparing them on, like, very fundamental skills about the game or fundamental talents about the game.
What we have to be careful at is you don't want things to start feeling too combine-ish because a lot of that type of shit already feels slave trade-ish. So it would have to be fun.
Well, that's the thing.
Instead of not just be specific.
Instead of competing for a slot on a team, you're kind of going for a belt.
I could dig it. I mean, and that's another thing. Different incentives.
Yeah, when you change, and that's a very good point. Yeah.
Different incentives. We seen certain teams go hard for the in-season tournament. We ain't know what the fuck that shit was, but Lakers went crazy and all of that. You know what I mean? It's like different incentives get you different reactions and different momentum too. But that's what I'm saying about. I don't think people realize how many things haven't been tried because the things that they've done have worked.
But I also think that ultimately there needs to be some sort of consistency, and that's something that's also missing from the All-Star festivities. Is as a viewer, you don't really know exactly what everything's gonna look like.
They change it every year,
and at some point, like that needs to be predictable so that the players know what they're getting themselves into, so that the fans know what to look forward to. All of that.
I think that when it's in your town, it's always exciting because if you know anything about All-Star Week, there's a lot of stuff to attend when they're in your town. It's dope. You can bring the kids out. You can meet the people. You know what I mean? Stuff that's not really televised. You probably see like little highlights during the commercial breaks of these things happening. That's always going to be ill. But for the viewing audience at an entertainment level that we're at now, the dunk contest has to be the dunk contest. The 3-point contest has now officially taken over the dunk contest. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I don't know. They got to figure it out. But I'm not against innovation. I'm not against anything that he comes up with because he's probably the best commissioner in sports.
You know what would also be interesting?
And he know how to get to $1, huh?
What if you allowed like fans to compete? Like some of those people that go to like those all-star shooting competitions and stuff like that. I'm sure maybe they've done that before.
I mean, see, the problem with All-Star Weekend is the lack of names already. Because the biggest event that has the most names, you see the least amount of effort in, right? The All-Star Game.
Yeah.
So, adding more no-name people doesn't really help. Putting the right influencers into the celebrity game, yeah.
Do you think they did a good job of that this year?
No, I think they skirted the line. I think they did just enough. I think that from what I know about a lot of these streamers and influencers, there's quite a few athletes. And I think that they got a little bit here, a little bit there. We're going to throw Jennifer Hudson on the team. Like, why is Jennifer Hudson on the team?
I feel like she was a last-minute ad because she
I
was
feel like
already
somebody
there.
couldn't make it, and she was
Yeah.
already performing, so they just put a jersey on her, and she was a good sport about it.
Because I don't even think... Did she play?
I don't know if she got in the game.
I don't even remember her playing a minute.
But, like, shit like that just be like, that's somebody's opportunity. I mean, I love to see Tristan. They did my boy Kai dirty, but Kai, you know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. I do like the idea of, like, getting more of the YouTube basketball scene and integrated into it.
I think you make it like, and this is a point I was going to make earlier about integrating the WNBA with the NBA. You do it in a celebrity game anyway. It's intergender. It's always been, right?
Right.
And for the most part. And then I think it should feel more like Rock and Jock. Remember they put all those little logos and shit on the floor. You score from here, score. Make it feel like MTV Rock and Jock. Make it really feel like a celebrity game. Turn it up. Have some fun. Let the antics roll. You know what I mean?
I do like that. Yeah.
I think that would be ill because it's a reason why Kevin Hart is Kevin Hart. And for years, he held y'all down on that side and got a couple MVPs while doing it. But ultimately, he was forcing that energy. You know what I mean? There's nobody else out there reciprocating it.
Right.
It's just him being a jester and getting buckets because he a Philly nigga that used to hoop. Like, but yeah, I think I'm open to innovation. I just think that it's really shocking that a few weeks after All-Star, a month or so after All-Star, he says this, which makes it why I agree with the Cam point of this might just be a warning shot above the brow real quick to let you know we coming. We ain't gonna keep playing this game. Literally. That's crazy, right?
Sure is. Let these poor men be healthy, please.
And that's the thing. You don't want nobody to get hurt. They don't want to get hurt. The incentive of winning is not that much larger than what they already done made, like, per game.
Yeah.
For a lot of them, they are all-stars. They get the top dollars. Like, with the exception of a couple young boys that squeeze in there on their first contract. Ace Boy Rio's platform. All right. One of the things that I do in my spare time, and I mentioned No Jumper earlier, but I don't really fuck with them no more because I really never really did.
I was going to say, when did you?
I never really liked the platform. I had got to a point where I started liking certain personalities on the platform. And that came from, shout out to Clips, like having clips and me being like, oh, he cool. You know what I mean? So certain things I would tap into. So when all the drama started up there, I was kind of in on it because at that point I was watching certain people and it involved them. Since the great departure that a lot of people that have been paying attention to when AD, T-Rail, Duno, Smack, Gina Views, House Phone, when everybody disappeared, everybody left, they went and started creating, or they actually had already created, but they started adding on to their own entities on their own individual channels and pages. Part of what went on was AD and Pun had community, and Pun started the Ace Boys at some point. I don't remember if that was before or after the No Jumper split, but Pun was never a direct employee. Or
It was before the No Jumper split.
all right, cool. But he was never a part of No Jumper, so I don't even look at it that way. But one of the personalities that he had on Ace Boys was Ace Boy Rios. One thing that's thorough about the Ace Boys is we know that they all come from where they come from. We know that these are the type of people that you should probably show respect as long as it's respectful. But they're all completely different personalities and individuals, and you get to appreciate that because nobody's apologetic about where they stand in the room. So I've always kind of appreciated Rios. And mind you, these West Coast guys, so a lot of times I just get kicks out of listening to Cali niggas debate hip hop because it'd be like, damn, y'all really think Jay-Z can't rap? It'd be weird. Anyway, since Ace Boys has been going on, Pun has always said everybody in here is going to start their own YouTube, start doing their individual thing. Wait on it, support it, subscribe. Excuse me. Which I think they did a good job of, right? I think that letting the audience know the intention early on, even while people are wrapping their heads around what they're going to do, just letting the people know, look forward to it and kind of creating that demand. I think they did a great job of that organically, just with them. And at some point, Rios started his page. And Rios does coffee with Rios. And he sits there and he goes to a black-owned coffee shop and he gives you gems and talks about a topic or whatever have you. And he promotes black businesses and he's personable and decent to the employees. Like, you get to see his vibe as an older man that grew up a gangbanger and a felon and getting in trouble and decided at some point he didn't like the man he was becoming and he wanted to be a better person. And I think he does a great job of like expressing his life, his point of views, and actually showing in real time. So I thought the coffee was dope. Then he started doing reaction videos. He started doing live streams. And I listened to a 2-hour live stream from Rios yesterday. And I'm looking at the comments, and I saw one of the comments say, yo, he gave so many jewels throughout this whole thing. It's crazy. This is what we needed. And I'm like, this is before I listened to the whole thing. And I was doing a lot yesterday. And every time I stopped doing something, I put it back on. I put it back on. I put it back on. I wanted to get through his 2.5 hours. But it was inspirational. It was thoughtful. It was honest. It was deep. And I just want to salute Ace Boy Rios.
Super big hand.
Because I know that in this space, something that people think is easy, everybody thinks that they can do, is not a real thing. But this was never his thing. It wasn't something that he sought out to do. He was supporting the homies and kicking it with the homies. And now he stepped outside his comfort zone and he found out how he wants to represent his page and his channel and the energy that he wants it to have. And I'm really excited to see what else he's going to do on that page because he's dope. He's dope, man. So tap in with Ace Boy Rios. This is not a personal friend. This is not an ad. I'm all the way to fucking Philly. But his page has not enough followers yet, not enough subscribers yet, but there's enough content on there that you can kind of get a vibe for what you can expect when he grows his vision. He's talking about buying a mobile home or something so that he can do content. So, like, you're talking about people putting real investments into this content game and they're not playing about it and they're not making the excuse of that's not who I am, that's not cool, somebody gonna say some shit. They finding a place in the struggle. And they figuring out a way to do some shit that entertains people or uplifts people or both. And I just want to salute him because I benefited from listening to him for 2.5 hours yesterday while I was filming 2 episodes my damn self. So shit, more than 6 hours of filming yesterday, I think, on my own. But yeah, shout out to Ace Boy Rios, a real one.
Super big hair.
And I'm gonna clip this and send it to him because one thing I thought was dope was he said it was a page they used to make fun of him. You know, you got these pages that they follow these big platforms and they just bid or they do whatever, right? And he said one of the things they did, he thought it was funny, so he hit the ball up. It was like, yo, I like that. That was hilarious. Like, keep doing your thing. He said the next thing the ball did, he was like, yo, I think you rushed that. I think it could have been better or whatever have you, like, but salute. Just make sure that you maintain your quality. He said because he didn't approach that man with hate or going back and forth with him that way, because he approached him with love and support, he works with him till this day. He helps him with shit. He helps him with his intro or his sound beds and suggests things and tells him, oh no, that's not gonna work. You should do it this way. And they've actually been doing business together because he was receptive to the fact that this man is making his money off of this bigger platform to support whatever he has going on. And that's decent because he's not hurting me. You see what I'm saying? So he approached it differently and he made a potential business partner out of it. And somebody that actually, at this point, he said he's traded a lot of game and a lot of opportunity with. And I think that's dope. So I just want to, like I said, you learn something from everybody. But he all the way on the other side of the country and he holding it down for his folk. But shout out to the Ace Boys. Shout out to Fig Community World. Shout out to everybody over there, man. Y'all doing some dope shit, and it's legendary, and it's being noticed and recognized in the fact that it's only going to grow. We waiting on Trey. We waiting on Manny to turn his page up some more. Manny got a page. Like, it's exciting. I like to see real niggas do real shit, man. So that's dope. One more time for y'all.
Super big hair.
Really, we could wrap it.
All right.
Any last words? Anything they need to look out for?
We got an episode dropping on Thursday. I believe it is Ace the Chemist.
Okay, shout out to my guy.
So that's going to be a dope episode. I also made sure that we are loaded up for the week in terms of content.
What did we drop this week?
We have shorts dropping every day, of course. Mostly shorts from the last couple of lives, the last 2 weeks of lives, and some shorts from Rich Jules' episode are coming out as well.
Shout out Riss.
And then in terms of clips, we just dropped one clip from the Pink Lee episode. We're dropping the second clip
Congratulations, Pink Lee. Her album, her project is out right now. Go tap in with Pink Lee and get on it, man. It's
and
just
funny enough,
fire.
the new clip is called Sunflowers and Gunpowder,
which is the name of the project.
So that is coming out tomorrow, as well as 2 clips from the episode with Namo Bars.
Namo Bars.
Coming out later this week, too.
Sharks. Yeah, my guy. Shout out Namo, man. I had a great time talking and catching up with my guy, yo.
Absolutely.
So, appreciate you, Kay. Font Productions, tap in with her for all your production or business needs.
Yep.
Also,
that's PHANTPHILLY, Font Philly on the gram.
That part in that order, please and thank you. Also, I will be hosting a hot box 420, 6 to 10 p.m. Get with my folks. Go to my page. I got my own link and all of that. You can find exactly how to get situated. But we in there, 420, the hot box. Location, you will find out when you go there. Also, just found out that we will be doing, I got it for you right here. I don't want to miss nothing. The Rap Rockstar situation with my guy Velcro at Voice Lounge on, what's the date? April 26th. April 26th. Also, I got another one. Hold on. messages be vicious. Here we go. Media night. For who you think, Kay?
Team United.
Philly potential threats, April 3rd, 2024, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. They will be having a media night. Anybody that wants to be a part of this, please tap in with me. I can make sure that y'all can be represented. Y'all gotta go through meetings as kids. But they having a media night again. We've been a part of their last 2 or 3.
At least 2.
Yeah, so April 3rd, 2024. I'm not giving out the Addy, but it's 6:30 to 8:30. They just reached out to me the other day. So yeah, that's what we got coming up that I can announce so far. May 25th, I will be getting honored. Yeah, go to my page for that also. But yeah, we got some things going on. I'm just trying to remember to do this because I always forget to do this, yo. I always forget to do this. But the season is turning up and our calendars are filling up. So if there's anything that y'all need us to be a part of or assist y'all with, please tap in with us as soon as possible because we both wear a lot of hats and we wear them well, which means that we're going to be stretched thin.
I was gonna say, I think our April is already booked, so.
April is like solid. I got baby showers and all type of shit to go to in April. It's
I got
crazy.
Gigs and weddings and yeah.
Yeah, I'm hosting about 2-3 things. I don't know what's going on, but it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. But shout out to everybody that was tapped in. The chat wasn't on screen, so I don't know if I missed any comments. Did we miss anything?
The only comment that I saw that we missed was Robert J. Moore asked us what we thought about the Diddy stuff and whether we think he's going to jail, which
We talked about.
we then did talk about. So.
Shout out to big homie Robert J. Moore, man. That's my guy. My guy. I actually got to send a message now that I just remembered that. Yeah, my guy. But yeah, we'll be here next week, man. Monday, 7 p.m. We drop every Thursday. Podcast at 4 p.m. Every Thursday, happy hour is our time. Clips drop daily. Shorts drop daily. And just subscribe, comment, give your suggestions, man. We outside. And if there's any topics that y'all want us to go over, y'all got the page, let us know. We'll put it on the board. We'll chop it up. We might even tap you into the conversation. It's possible.
Definitely is.
It's possible. It's doable. And I actually would love to. So let's do that too. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all stay safe, man, and pray for me. I need it just like y'all do. I got you.
Sipping, I'm 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 sipping.
This is Sipping with Sammy. I am Mr. Fly Shit Only, the one and only Sipping with Sammy. Sam Malone, Barstool Rug. If you ain't sipping with Sammy, you ain't sipping right. Please get your fucking life together.
It's all the way live. It's all the way live.
Damn, Sammy, you done fucked up.
Fucking yuppie transplants. Move the fuck out. Get out of our fucking city. You ain't even